Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Vandal. We are back again with another interview for episode 6 coming up on Saturday, the 12th of September. I've got Juan, aka Cartoon Advisory, with me here live and direct. Juan, how's it going, man?
Doing good, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you a million times for having me out here, man. I am super excited to be connecting with you for the first time and to be a part of everything, man. Like this has all been super awesome. I mean, the first episode, I just watched it last week. Kind of was a little bit of, I was a little bit involved in it, not as much in crypto voxels, but everything looks awesome, man. Looking forward to seeing what the future has in hold, man.
Nice.
Cool.
Cool. So where are you at now? Like where are you based out of?
I'm over here in Orlando right now, like Winter Garden, but closest thing to us is Orlando, so we just all call it Orlando.
Nice.
Originally from Colombia though, but I've been here in Orlando for I don't even know, like 17, 16 years now. Like I'm American as hell, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I'm over here in sunny Orlando.
Okay.
What about you, man? You're over in
Currently, I'm in British Columbia in Canada on the West
that's
Coast,
right.
and it's nice to be back in nature. I was out in Malaysia for a while. Yeah, mostly based out in Malaysia, but now I'm here in Canada for a bit. But enough
That's so
about me. Let's find out more about you. Maybe give the people a little background on your art background, your influences, your interests, and how you got into it all.
Totally, man. So I had a pretty like regular, teenagehood, I guess. I mean, I high school, I just kind of partied a lot, just kind of did my own thing. I wasn't really like very aware of myself and wasn't really too sure of my place. I just knew that like I liked having fun and I liked, living life to its fullest, or so I thought. Shortly after that, shortly after high school, I was kind of fumbling around, not really sure what to do. I entered a really weird phase in my life where I was just kind of like really depressed and just things were kind of like all falling apart after high school because I thought I had it all together. You know what I mean? I was watching my friends kind of go off to college and go off to do their own thing. And kind of, I kind of realized that like I spent all this time uh, not focusing on myself and just putting all this time and effort into like, what other people thought of me and that kind of thing. And it took me a little bit to kind of find myself and kind of, put myself in a position where I was happy and I kind of had a path. I was, bouncing around from like job to job, not really doing much. I was, I dropped out of college twice. You know what I mean? At this point, it'd been like 4 years since I graduated, and I had like no idea like what I was gonna do. And I decided to go to a counselor that one of my old schools was offering, just kind of like a free 3 counseling service that that students had. And during those sessions, the counselor actually mentioned that art was something that she thought, it was something that I kept bringing up and something that I talked about that like kind of put me at ease and stuff like that. So she sort of mentioned the idea. She's like, well, why don't you try that out? You know what I mean? Like you seem to be really enjoying that. You seem to be really thriving in that, something that you really enjoy. And shortly after that, man, I started Full Sail, like kind of what they were all about. Like took the tour, was really interested in like everything they had to offer, from like the campus to the teachers to like how close it was to me because it's literally like right down the road from me. So that was actually like really convenient as well. And then started school, man, and then literally like everything just started turning around, dude. Like my attitude started changing. Like my friends even started noticing like I was a lot happier and I was a lot more productive. And then I started getting into motion graphics, and it was really weird because the way that my school was set up, it was a month by month class. So you would take a class for a month and then you would finish that and you would start the next month. because it was like an extended program. It's a 20-month program that you take, and you graduate with your bachelor's. It's super awesome. During the first motion graphic courses, I was by myself. So it was just like me one-on-one with the instructors, which was phenomenal. You know what I mean? Like I got I'm still like really, really good friends with a lot of the instructors that I had during that time, which, looking back, was such a shock to me, because like during school, like I wasn't like an asshole to teachers and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like I've always respected my elders and stuff like that, but like I never really took into consideration like the relationship that you can have with somebody that knows. So like a mentor relationship is something that I never really experienced, and something like that just opened up so many doors, and just like the self-confidence that brought in myself as well was just amazing. Shortly after that, graduated school, and then like kind of in the last year and a half, 2 years of school is when I really started to branch out and kind of started going out and doing things on my own. During that time, I actually accomplished like a pretty decent amount of stuff off my bucket list. Like I had some opportunities with some music festivals to do some projection mapping and work with them, and that was awesome. I've been able to travel around like all South Florida for a little while with a company called I forget what they're called. My homie Jack.
Are you froze up there? Hopefully we get you back.
Casper. Oh no.
Hey, yeah. Sorry, you froze up there after you were talking about the festival that you were, the Miami Festival thing that you were doing.
So,
Yeah, so let's get back on that.
I've just had a lot of really amazing opportunities, meeting a lot of amazing people. Like it's been such an incredible decision, and it just feels like it just feels like I'm in the right place. You know what I'm saying? Like every day I wake up just happy, just blessed. You know what I mean? And it's like looking back on where I was a couple of years ago, like it has been such a huge turnaround, man. And just even opportunities like this are the reason that keep me going. You know what I mean? Like, thank you again, brother. Like this is super awesome.
I'm glad. Thank you as well. I think it's a mutual thing.
Totally.
I'm curious though. It's like how has that how have those experiences that you've just been sharing, how has that impacted your creativity, the type of art that you create? Have you seen sort of that the parallels like match up with where you are currently in life compared to previously with your art?
Yeah, totally. So when I first started getting into digital art, I was playing around a lot with my apps on my phone and stuff like that. And that's kind of when I started getting into like music festivals and started going out to clubs and shows and stuff like that. And that definitely started making an impact in the kind of art that I wanted to make. I was seeing a lot of very psychedelic, very bright, very like abstract art, very surreal art as well, very like stuff that just didn't make sense. That was always very appealing to me. And all, of course, like at music festival and that culture, like that always brings out, very psychedelic, very bright colors, very again like surreal things that just don't make sense. A big influence actually in a lot of my work is Android Jones. He, like, from the very beginning, I mean, he's who he is. He's the Smithsonian and whatnot, but he's kind of like a generic whatever. No, he's not generic. He's awesome. He's just kind of like a very big name. But from there as well, like I've made a lot of homies that are like that we talk almost every day, that like their art is also very like psychedelic and very bright and colorful and just kind of very expressive. Something that I did kind of see that I kind of wanted to put my own spin on was taking so much detail away and just kind of like leaving detail down to certain elements. I like playing around with the idea of minimalism and just kind of like taking things away and playing around with less is more type
Hmm.
deal. I think that I think that even though the art that you see, with psychedelic art and what's that called? Um, Visionary art. There we go. Visionary art. It's very there's just a lot of detail, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Uh, but again, I kind of wanted to take that in another direction and seeing if I could still keep that like psychedelic kind of like bright and colorful feel, but again, like seeing what elements I can take away and I can play around with, and seeing what I can, yeah, what I can leave out and still, leave an awesome piece.
Yeah.
Um, Motion graphics is also something that, I was more involved in prior to COVID and stuff like that, just because we were doing shows and,
Hmm.
festivals and stuff like that, like projection mapping. It's a little bit easier to make content for that, but it's definitely something that I want to get back into. Something that I'm kind of getting slowly back into as well. I mean, with the video piece that we did for this, it was kind of like that was kind of my first music video back in a long time, because like I've done a couple music videos before with some friends and some producer homies and stuff like that, but I just kind of stepped away for a little while for whatever reason. But yeah, this was a really awesome opportunity, man.
Let's talk a little bit about that, about the collaboration, right?
Totally.
Because when we were sort of matching up the artists, um, it was pretty random.
Right.
I didn't really know sort of how the sound and the music and the visuals would kind of manifest in the end. So it's as an experimental sort of pairing and artistic project. Like,
I love it.
what was your process in going into the collaboration with Coach Jeets for the track "The Right to Know"? Like, how did you guys work together, or what was the process?
So right when you paired it up, obviously the first thing I did was like pop a song up on YouTube, listen to it. Literally, like I'm the type of person that'll just run a song back, 17 times just to like get the feel of it, get the whole idea of it. So I did that. Got some ideas down, just kind of like, uh, yeah, just kind of sketched some stuff down, just whatever came to mind. And then that's when I reached out to Coach Jeets, and he was actually the one that kind of he mentioned that the whole idea of the song, the whole idea of the video was kind of to walk through this doorway, you know what I mean? And that kind of like sparked an idea, and from there it just kind of like rolled over. And Coach Sheets actually, like, he was really cool about the whole situation. He's like, hey man, like I trust your artistic abilities. Like he kind of let me drive on that. But I mean, I would send him progress shots back and forth and whatnot, like the whole time. So he was just really awesome to work with. He was just like okaying everything, which was super awesome. Um, Everything, like the whole process just really flowed like really smoothly, man. Like from the beginning of like writing ideas down to finalizing everything, like I had no issues, and it was really awesome, man. Um, what's it called? Yeah. Just Coach Jeets was like his style is definitely a lot different than what I usually listen to. Like I just listen to a lot of instrumental music, but definitely it was definitely interesting getting to play around uh with his video as well, because we implemented that into the final video as well. So
Hmm.
it was just really cool being able to kind of tie in something that he's done already and something that we kind of brought back to life type deal, just to kind of, you know what I mean, give it a little bit of love, it'll give it a little bit of life.
Yeah, I've realized so far, like throughout the first couple of episodes, and also talking with all of the artists, that there's multiple approaches that people have taken. Like, some have just created the still piece, like a cover art piece, and then others have like added, they have done a number of different things on top of, you know, the initial request of just the cover art. So I think it's really cool that, you know, you guys have taken that initiative to create not only just the cover art visual, but
Totally.
this sort of animated music video as well. And I think that's sort of what brings joy to me through this whole process of
Totally.
connecting and kind of providing this platform, is to see the amazing things that come out of it. Like I'm the kind of person who's like, I just leave it up to you guys. You guys
Totally.
have freedom to create whatever it is you want to create, and then we work it in, and all the additional things that you know weren't necessarily requested for this, I think is amazing. And that's also a bonus for all the people watching and everybody who's going to, you know, come out to the show on the 12th of September, this Saturday, to come check it out in Crypto Voxels. You know, I think you're in for a real treat, and to see all the creations. Yeah, and so I think that's the really awesome thing about, you know, these collaborations.
Totally.
Um,
Totally.
so I guess maybe like in your own words, let people know what to expect when they come out. Like what should they expect in terms of what you guys have done in the art?
Well, definitely expect like very groovy vibes, very psychedelic, very smooth, changing colors, very trippy. You know what I mean? I like to keep things kind of like in that weird realm, kind of like colorful realm. Um, definitely, yeah, definitely expect just some groovy vibes, man. Like Coach Jeets definitely brought the heat out with the right to know. Like he's again like super awesome. I hope that I definitely hope that he's able to make it out. I hope to see a bunch of you guys out there as well. I know that it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, man. Just I hope that everyone comes out and just has a groovy time.
Nice. And this is like this is a whole different approach to doing events. And a
Totally.
lot of the people from, I guess, from the traditional industries, or who aren't really you know, knowledgeable too much on blockchain and virtual worlds and that sort of thing, they always ask me like, yo, what time, where's the event? I'm like, what time is it? They get confused because, you know, blockchain and this whole crypto art world, it's 24/7, you know,
Right.
so people are around the world, and like I'm like, okay, how do I set time zones? And my Malaysian friends are all like 12 o'clock. Oh, but wait, huh?
Which
I'm
12?
confused, which 12? So it's all very new, and you know, utilizing Crypto Voxels as a venue for an alternative to actually having a real venue
Right.
has been also an interesting experiment, and
Totally.
testing these things out. And I'm curious to know, like, how did you find this whole world of crypto art? Like, how did you stumble across this scene?
Dude, I like one. It is. I am blown away, man. Like I was never aware of how massive this world actually is, because it really is like a whole nother universe inside of your freaking computer, man. It's amazing. I stumbled upon it by a couple of my friends who are on Super Rare, kind of actually Colin Hassel and Tenstrip. They were posting about it on Twitter, and they just kind of like I just clicked on the link and I was like, oh, that looks pretty interesting, and literally just applied, saw like saw the whole application process, kind of like went through what they do. Saw a couple of other homies on there as well. I know Keith Anderson and a couple other friends are on there. Uh, and then just applied, and it's crazy because I didn't really like think much of it. You know what I mean? Like I was busy doing other things, and I just kind of sent the application, and I forget how long it took them. It was like a week or two, but they got back to me, and I was like, oh wow, like that's super crazy. And then ever since then, I've just kind of been trying to dig deeper and deeper into the whole crypto art world, man. Like I've been getting involved with a couple of the people inside of Somnium Space,
Hmm.
and that has been super awesome. I mean, Crypto Voxels as well. Like that's super established, and like another amazing platform for artists and collectors, and like the whole NFT world to kind of live inside of. I know there's a couple other platforms as well that I haven't really explored as much, but
Hmm.
again, like it's just incredible that like all of these things are able to live and thrive like they do because it's just like I tell people about it and they're like, what? Like that's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
thing? And I'm like, dude, like it's a thing. Like it's insane. Like and it's crazy because like I'm trying to put some more friends on. You know what I mean? Other homies that don't really know about it, and it's tricky because like I don't know as much. Like I'm not as knowledgeable on blockchain and crypto and stuff like that. So it is a bit tougher for me to articulate some of these things out. But I'm definitely like I'm definitely trying to learn as much as I can from it because it's just literally growing every single day, man. Like I'm I'm starting to follow a couple of coin profiles and coin accounts and stuff like that on Twitter
Hmm.
and just kind of keeping up with that. And it's insane how fast and how like now it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you said, man. It's 24/7. It does not stop. Like it's incredible, man. Like it's been an amazing opportunity for myself as well. I know that like during COVID, it's also been a humongous help for a lot of other friends who have been on there. A lot of friends who do live events and stuff like that definitely got affected by this. And I mean, Super Rare and just all these other platforms that allow us to sell our art and just kind of distribute ourselves and kind of uh, make a little bit of money off of this is incredible, man. Like it's super awesome.
Yeah, I was thinking because everybody has a different onboarding experience, right, into
Right.
this crypto and blockchain space, and it's interesting to hear your story as an artist just coming in and applying on a website to this art gallery and being accepted, and then that sort of was your path into everything through like MetaMask and setting up your Ethereum and dealing with transactions and
Yeah.
getting coins and moving coins and then slowly branching out from there, as well as looking at helping other people that you know. And this is the same with me, as you know a lot of talented people who could benefit from this thing, and you're like, hey man, you gotta get into this, and then
Get
learning
on it.
how to articulate that to people and learning how to kind of share the process of getting on and all the little things, because it is something that you kind of have to work, like there is work involved in figuring out how to do it. It's not just plug and play, like it's not simple in that respect. And for me, like my onboarding experience was slightly different. I got in the space about April 2017, and I had like known about Bitcoin already for a while, and this was before any of the arts, anything that kind of cross
Yeah.
paths with my artistry and that side of things. It was more about sort of investing, like financial stuff, and I bought a bit of Bitcoin, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is cool, and I started getting more and more involved in it and looking at decentralization as a way to empower creatives, and then stumbling into things like Steam It, and then from Steam It into like other platforms, and eventually trying to figure out how to merge the two worlds, like this art and music and record labels, into this decentralized world, and crypto art and NFTs. I always thought, like, well, before I knew about crypto art, I knew about NFTs through CryptoKitties.
Right.
And I was like when I heard about CryptoKitties, I was like, what the hell is this? I was just like,
Right.
this is a joke, right? But
Yeah.
then,
What's going on with this?
like after a couple of minutes really thinking about it, I was like, wow, this is genius. There's so many applications. And then, doing my thing and eventually stumbling into crypto art world, I was like, okay, now these people are taking it to the next level. And I'm like, what, this is where I need to be, you know? um, so that experience of onboarding, it's really cool to hear from you as an artist and as somebody who may not have been into the technical side of Bitcoin or trading or the financial side, but coming into the space via art, I think is a real sort of story that other people can look at and say, well, I can do that too. It
Right.
didn't seem like that's such a hard thing to do. And as an introduction, I think this is where we need to be in this space in order to be able to onboard people. And it's so awesome because I've always been saying creatives need more of a place within the blockchain ecosystem, because we have so much to bring to it, I think. And
Yeah. Totally.
that's wonderful. What do you think, like, in your opinion, What do you think the future of this space is going to look like, or how would you like it to look?
I mean, the way that it is right now, like I see some like some small issues with like gas prices and stuff like that, where I see, you know, some people complaining and some kind of I can understand the complaints, you know what I mean, but I can also understand the other side of it as well, where, you know, you have a lot of people, you have a lot of transactions, you have, you know, I don't understand it completely, but I can get it, you know. um but I honestly don't really see like anything wrong with the way that it is, like um ha, yeah, like artists having a platform to literally like have one-on-one contact with your collectors is as close as you're going to get to like the real art world, you know what I mean? Which, I mean, I'm not really noticing like too many differences between like the real art world and like the crypto art world, you know what I mean? Like I think it's all kind of slowly merging together, and like you said, like a person like myself, like an artist, just kind of coming into this and not really, like, again, like I knew about Bitcoin, but Ethereum is a whole new concept to me. And then finding out about, you know, every single like Rari and all these other coins and stuff like that, like that's also something that uh, I mean, okay, I think education might be like a good future. People who know about blockchain and kind of have a better understanding of it, educating people that are coming into it, because it is a bit scary, in my opinion. I still don't really know like where to begin or where to not
Mm-hmm.
begin, you know. I think that would be very helpful and something that a lot of people could benefit from. Um, Again, I just don't really like see anything wrong with any of this, man. Like
Well, I didn't mean
it's all
see what's wrong with
great.
it. I just
Right,
meant
right,
like,
right.
what's your vision of the like, where do you see it in like a year's time? Like, what is it going to look like? What are the things that you think that could be, you know, beneficial, or what you'd like to see? Like,
Yeah, okay, yeah, I kind of got away from that, my fault.
no worries.
um yeah, so I see this continuing to grow, man, and once you know, COVID and this whole pandemic kind of starts to die down a little bit, I'm definitely seeing, you know, more of a physical presence as well, in galleries and things like that, especially with you know, things like virtual reality helmets and that opportunity, being able to kind of bring that into galleries and bring that into the real world. I think that is like kind of the next step into this, because it's already very, very well established online and you know, in a virtual world. Uh, but I definitely see this starting to grow, especially, I mean, when I tell people like when I start to tell people like, oh yeah, I'm selling art online, they're like, oh, okay, like you're selling it for $50 or whatever. And I'm like, no, dude, like Trevor Jones just sold a fucking piece for, you know, $55,000. Like
Yeah.
he's making real money off of this. Like this isn't like just little kids playing around on the internet anymore. Like this is a real deal, man. And um, yeah, I just see this kind of like transitioning into the physical world a little bit more. Again, especially with like virtual reality being more accessible.
Mm.
Um, I also think just like being able to stream, I think we'll be able to kind of connect those two worlds and kind of host like live streams at galleries and at events,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Again, like music festivals and things like that could also probably benefit a lot from like the virtual world, even though it might be a little bit more difficult to kind of set things up outside and things like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's already been done, again, with Android Jones and the microdose stuff that he does. Like he's, you know, that's already being implemented out into parties and the younger audience and stuff like that. So I literally just see this spreading like wildfire, man. Like I don't see this stopping anytime soon. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's just the future. Like there's just you're only taking away the negatives, and you're kind of chipping away at all the things that uh you know, we see bad with the art world, you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
everything is just interaction between artists and collectors, and I think that's as personal as you can get, and I don't think you can get any better than that, man. Like I
Nice.
think, yeah, I think it's just going to continue growing and going to continue giving opportunities to people, you know, and I think that's beautiful.
Definitely, man. That it's been a pleasure chatting with
Dude,
you about all this stuff, man. I'm really looking forward to the event Saturday. Saturday, don't
yes,
forget
sir.
Saturday the 12th of September. It's episode 6 of the Pop-Up Season 2 Cartoon Advisory, aka Juan. Thank you so much for your time, and the Coach Jeets. We're gonna get him on the interview as well. So
Totally.
it's I appreciate your time, man, and thank you so much
Appreciate you, man.
for being here for this.
Yeah, totally, totally, dude. I appreciate you, Mr. Vandal. You are the man. Thank you
Thanks, bro.
for everything, man. Like, thank you, DAO Records. Thank you, everybody, for everything, man. You guys have been super, super awesome.
All right, bro. Take care. Peace out.
Big love, brother.
All right.